This is Leap Magazine. I'm Sun Tzu, and I'm here with Curtis, Aui 2000, Ling. Are you dropping the Aui 2000 soon? Is it just going to be Aui?
Maybe Aui 1000 win TI, you know? I said that before DAC we won. I think it's a good luck charm.
They gonna fix the cozy, dude. Yeah, the one that your girlfriend made for you.
That's true, but AUI 1 cozy doesn't sound as good.
That is true. That like, why aren't we seeing those in like the EG shop or something? Come on, you gotta. Your team, they aren't really marketing you. What's going on?
That is true. I should ask her. I mean, actually, we talked about that, like getting cozy in there. But it's actually, I think it would sell. I like it. Actually, I don't know if it would sell, but I think it's cool. I'd love to have it in there. It's just like, it's hard getting a cozy manufacturer. Like, I'm not too sure who does that. I know a lot of like clothing brands. Not many of them make Snuggies.
Yeah. Another thing that sort of it's been bothering me, like when you were on C9, you got really into doing these replay reviews and sort of producing this content, and you were sort of talking about like wanting to take up a bit of that mantle that Day 9 has in StarCraft. What happened to that? That sort of fell by the wayside. I checked your YouTube. There's not been a post in 4 months. Flame.
I mean, I think it's a combination of me being lazy with, it's pretty time consuming
Yeah.
as a pro player, and it's not something I want to focus on with TI coming up. It's also that like I felt when I was doing the videos, I didn't have the motivation to put enough effort in to say something new every time. And I mean, people might learn from them, but I think I talked about enough things in like my first 11 that it should be good enough for now. I don't know. It's something I would like to revisit in the future. I'm just lazy. Actually, I have no excuse. I'm just lazy. Like that's really all there is to it.
So there's no like EG's been working on a whole new Aui show behind the scenes or anything like that.
No, not like that. But I mean, I think we're considering writing some like hero guides. I wrote like a Visage guide. We're looking on making that into a nice, neat video. I think sometime in the future, probably after TI. But yeah.
Yeah, for now you got to focus on that. And you guys took a bit of a break after DAC. You weren't practicing as hard. Before that, you'd been talking about how you sort of really treasured the fact that you could be a pro gamer as a job, and that you could do what you really love as a job. How did that sort of come in there? Because you'd been talking about really upping your own investment. Were you able to keep that up even as the team sort of ramped down a bit?
Yeah, I mean, in esports, I think in general, but particularly in Dota, a lot of your practice is just solo queuing, or just, it doesn't have to be solo queue, even just playing Dota. Make sure mechanics are up to date, making sure you find a good hero. It's a bit harder for us because Sumel was like 15, he was in high school.
Yeah.
He didn't finish his finals till like just before ESL, so we weren't really able to practice properly until very recently. Yeah, I mean, even though we weren't practicing that much, I was still playing a lot. I think all of us were playing a lot, so it was fine.
Okay. Sort of, what's the next thing that you sort of that you feel you need to develop about yourself? You've had a pretty long sort of journey as a player, going from carry to playing support, and really becoming one of the defining greedy supports of this sort of this era. So sort of, what would you like to work on next in terms of your own progression?
I don't know. I haven't really thought of anything specific. Maybe pick up a couple of new heroes. I don't think my hero pool is too bad, but it's definitely not like I can play every hero right now comfortably. So yeah, I don't know. It's if I started to knew something specific like that, I think I would have worked on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably just new heroes.
There's no feeling like, hey, I want to play a bit more like the less farm-heavy supports, so PPD might have something as well, or are you just happy letting him play that almost six position?
I think I like his support dynamic.
Yeah.
This patch, just because general AoE gold changes to the lowest net worth on your team, PPD gets a bit more farm too, and I don't necessarily need to change my play for that to happen. I mean, if there's a patch, I'll probably have to change my play. But as of right now, I feel really comfortable.
Yeah, that's something that I've heard some analysts remark on as well, that you used to see PPD being like so far down on the net worth, but now with the new patch, he's suddenly already got items and stuff, and that's really changing things up. Um, Now, you've played with two of sort of the best known really hard supports in Pilot Eye and PPD. How do they differ? How are they similar? Could you talk a bit about that?
Sure. I mean, on C9 I bought a lot more wards than I do now. I actually bought a decent amount of wards. It wasn't always the 4 on C9. They differ in Pilot Eye is a lot more aggressive than PPD. PPD, I think, is more of a defensive support. I think I'm also a bit more defensive than someone like No Tail or Pilot Eye. So we've had a couple issues with that, I guess, because our supports aren't as active early. But we're working. I guess that's one thing we're working on fixing. I think we're doing a decent job there. Other than that, I don't know. I enjoy playing with both of them. I guess Peter takes care of the draft, while Pilot Eye only used to do that too. So.
Yeah. Now, you used to also provide a lot of ideas for the draft, like thinking back to like Dignitas and stuff like that. I remember you used to be, I think, something like co-captain-ish on Dignitas.
Not really.
It was a bit of a...
Every team I've been on, everyone has contributed to the draft.
Yeah.
So, I mean, PPD has the final call in the draft.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's ever been a game where someone hasn't talked during the draft.
Okay. Then, sort of, what do you feel is like your position in terms of the team dynamic? Like, it is a very different dynamic than C9 had. So, how do you fit in there, and what do you bring to their team?
I know a lot of. I take pride in knowing a lot of mechanics, I guess, in the game. So, like, if someone doesn't know where a spell hits something, I'll usually know the answer. Sometimes I come up with ideas for. I don't really know. It's so hard to specify what you do in a team like that. I like to make a lot of map movement calls. Not so much maybe a smoke gank, but just here's how we're going to outfarm them. If we take this, then we will farm even with them. I like just think about those things.
All right. Well, certainly, like, coming from C9, you know everything about how to farm teams. So, yeah, thank you for the interview. This has been Elite Magazine. If you like what we've been doing here at ESL One Frankfurt, you can follow us at www.elitemag.com. Yeah, thanks, man.
Like what you see? Why not subscribe to the magazine at leapmag.com?